Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Knowell Bell. In today's session, we are going to practice the questions from class 9 Sainik School Entrance Exam as well as Rashtriya Military School Entrance Exam. और टॉपिक जो होगा आप सभी के लिए दैट इज गोइंग टू बी सेल द यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ. हम लोग सेल द यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ से क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करेंगे एंड दे आर गोइंग टू बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम. Rather you are preparing for Sainik School or for Rashtriya Military School. So let's get started. One more very important thing, क्योंकि आपको पता होगा that cell is a very big topic. तो हमने इसको 4 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया है. 4 पार्ट्स में हम इसके पूरे क्वेश्चंस को प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. सो स्टे अपडेटेड विद द चैनल. आगे के सभी सेशन से कनेक्टेड रहने के लिए मेक श्योर यू सब्सक्राइब द चैनल, प्रेस द बेल नोटिफिकेशन नेक्स्ट टू इट, और उसके साथ ही लेट्स स्टार्ट टुडेज सेशन. Everyone, as you can see, question number 1 is the powerhouse of cell is called A. Cell wall, B. Mitochondria, C. Ribosome, or D. Nucleus. So the question is saying किस cell organelle को हम power house of cell कहते हैं. Now if we frame the question in another language, question can be which cell organelle is called powerhouse of cell or powerhouse of cell. Both of them are the same thing. So powerhouse of cell is called, the right answer होगा आपका option B, mitochondria. Mitochondria is the cell organelle जिसको हम कहते हैं powerhouse of cell. Now what is the reason, क्या reason है कि हम mitochondria को cell organelle कह रहे हैं. So there is a very basic fact behind it. As you all know, like हमारी functioning के लिए हमको energy required है. You have to do daily day to day activities, उसके लिए आपको energy required है. Similarly, in order to perform all the activities, cell को भी energy required है. Cell also needs energy and this energy is in the form of ATP. ये जो energy cell के through required होती है, that is in the form of ATP. Now what is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. What is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. ये आपने already I think पढ़ा भी होगा. So this energy ATP is required by the cell. And इसकी synthesis के लिए what is responsible? The cell organelle responsible is mitochondria. That is the very reason कि एनर्जी के लिए जिसको हम पावर हाउस ऑफ सेल कह रहे हैं, दैट सेल ऑर्गेनेल इज माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. सो योर राइट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी ऑप्शन बी, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज कॉल्ड द पावर हाउस ऑफ सेल. ना इसी बात से एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बनता है, ये भी आप लोग याद रखिएगा. द क्वेश्चन कैन बी व्हाट इज द एनर्जी करेंसी ऑफ द सेल. व्हाट इज द एनर्जी करेंसी ऑफ द सेल. सेल की एनर्जी करेंसी क्या है? सो just keep this in mind. Energy currency of the cell is once again ATP. तो ATP को हम कहते हैं, ATP is the energy currency of the cell. So these two questions you will keep in mind. The powerhouse of cell, mitochondria. Energy currency of the cell, ATP or adenosine triphosphate. Next is question number 2. The question number 2 says the kitchen of the cell is called cell wall, nucleus, vacuoles or plastid. Kitchen of the cell. Now where does this term come from? किचन ऑफ द सेल. किचन का अगर हम मेन फंक्शन देखेंगे, व्हाट इज द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ किचन? किचन का मेन फंक्शन होता है, आप अपने घर में भी देखोगे, सो प्रिपेयरिंग फूड और व्हाट वी कैन कॉल सिंथेसिस ऑफ फूड. दैट इज द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ सेल, सिंथेसिस ऑफ फूड, राइट. किचन का फंक्शन होता है टू प्रिपेयर द फूड, टू सिंथेसाइज द फूड. सो सिमिलरली द क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग सेल में कौन सा ऑर्गेनल है दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर सिंथेसिस ऑफ फूड. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर कॉलिंग इट किचन ऑफ द सेल. So as we all know that food synthesis के लिए that is the process of photosynthesis. इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? The process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis के लिए और synthesis of food के लिए which cell organelle is responsible? The cell organelle responsible यहाँ पे right answer होगा आपका option D, plastids. Okay, the right answer would be option D, plastids. Plastid is the cell organelle that is responsible for synthesis of food or photosynthesis. Now some of you might say that हमने तो इसके लिए पढ़ा था that chloroplast is the organelle that is responsible. Where does this term comes from? हमने तो chloroplast पढ़ा था, that chloroplast is the cell organelle that is responsible for the synthesis of food. So where this plastid comes from? So everyone, chloroplast is a type of plastid. सेल में different टाइप के plastids present होते हैं. And when we talk about plastids, तो आपको ये भी याद रखना है that this we are talking about plant cell. Animal cells do not have a plastid. तो ये भी आपको याद रखना है. Plants contain different plants of types of plastid and among them chloroplast is there. So basically kitchen of the cell हम किसे कहते हैं? Kitchen of the cell हम कहते हैं chloroplast को, because chloroplast is responsible for synthesis of food and synthesis of food is carried out by photosynthesis. By which process it is carried out by? It is carried out by photosynthesis. One more thing you will keep in mind is in photosynthesis, in the process of फोटोसिंथेसिस आपको क्या याद रखना है? व्हाट आर द रॉ मटेरियल्स रिक्वायर्ड? क्या रॉ मटेरियल्स रिक्वायर्ड होते हैं? सो रॉ मटेरियल्स रिक्वायर्ड हियर आर, raw materials are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are required, then they lead to the formation of glucose. So photosynthesis, the process by which plants synthesize their food. The organelle responsible for this is plastids or chloroplast, hence we call it the kitchen of the cell. Next is question number 3. The functional unit of life is called A. Cell, B. Egg, C. Nucleus, D. None of these. The functional unit of life. So this is very again a simple question. The right answer is cell. Cell is को ही हम कहते हैं. Cell is the functional unit of life. Oftentimes we call it as structural and functional. Commonly we call it as structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Okay, तो ये हम याद रखेंगे. Next is question number 4. Chloroplast is found in plant cell only, B animal cell only, C both of these, or D none of these. So I have just told you the answer for this question. अगर आपने ध्यान से सुना होगा that in the question number 2 हम discuss कर रहे थे about plastids, and in the plastids I told you chloroplast is a type of plastids and plastids are present only in the plants. So right answer होगा chloroplast. Chloroplast is found only in the plant cell. Where are they found? Chloroplast are only found in the plant cell. Animal cells में आपको कभी भी chloroplast नहीं मिलेंगे. So there are टू आइडेंटिकल फीचर्स जो प्लांट सेल और एनिमल सेल को डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं. सो यू कैन राइट इट, plant cell and animal cell, there are two characters or three characters that differentiate them. So let's study them. We have a plant cell and we have a animal cell. Most of the things are common. Okay, there is no like there are going to be Golgi bodies in plant cell, Golgi bodies will also be there in animal cell, plasma membrane, this is common. Things that are different, organelles that are different. First organelle आप याद रखोगे और first component of याद रखोगे. Plant cell में cell wall present होता है. Plant cell contains cell wall, but the same is absent in animal cell. Plant cells में cell wall present होता है, but the cell wall is absent in animal cell. Secondly, plant cell contain large central vacuole. Plant cell contain a large central vacuole. Howsoever, a large central vacuole is absent in animals. I'm not saying vacuoles are absent. A large central vacuole is absent. Small vacuoles आपको देखने मिलेंगे. And thirdly, most importantly, plant cells contain chloroplast. What do they contain? They contain chloroplast. Why do they contain chloroplast? Definitely photosynthesis के लिए, for the synthesis of food. बट एनिमल सेल्स में क्लोरोप्लास्ट एब्सेंट होते हैं. एंड जब आप हायर क्लासेस में जाओगे, वहाँ पे आप स्टडी करोगे, देयर इज अ ऑर्गेनल कॉल्ड सेंट्रियोल, राइट? देयर इज अ ऑर्गेनल कॉल्ड सेंट्रियोल. सेंट्रियोल जो होता है, सेंट्रियोल इज प्रेजेंट इन एनिमल सेल बट इट इज एब्सेंट इन प्लांट सेल. तो ये कुछ डिस्टिंक्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स हैं जो प्लांट सेल्स और एनिमल सेल्स को डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं अ पार्ट ऑफ देयर वर्क एंड फंक्शनिंग. प्लांट सेल्स में सेल वॉल प्रेजेंट होता है, इट इज एब्सेंट इन एनिमल सेल्स. Plant cells में there's a large central vacuole but it's absent in animal cells. Chloroplast mainly plant cells में present होता है. You see the plants are green in color. Okay, chloroplast present होता है and that is absent in animal cells, and animal cells contain centrioles and that is absent in plant cells. तो ये main differences हम याद रखेंगे in the plant cell as well as in animal cell. And the right answer for this question is going to be option A, plant cell only. Question number 5. The control unit of cell is called A. Nucleus, B. Cell wall, C. Cytoplasm, or D. All of these. So question is saying control unit of cell. What is the meaning of control unit? Control unit means something that will control the entire thing. Something that will control the cell, right? उसको हम कहेंगे control unit of the cell. Like there is a big huge building. उस big huge building में there's a control center. The control center is controlling all the functioning of the building, right? Similarly, the cell is like a building. And cell की जितनी activities हैं, who will control it? ये question हमसे कह रहा है. Nucleus, cell wall, cytoplasm, and all of these. So the right answer is nucleus. Nucleus is also called as a control unit or often called as control center of the cell. जितने भी functions हो रहे हैं in the cell, जितनी भी activities एक cell perform कर रहा है, all of that is controlled by nucleus. So control center or control unit of the cell in both plants as well as in animal cells, right? So control unit of the cell is nucleus, that's called the control center or the control unit of cell. Next is single-celled organisms are called A unicellular, B multicellular, C both of these, or D none of these. So a very simple question, single-celled organisms, that means ऐसे organisms जो सिर्फ one single cell से बने. What do we call such animals, or sorry, such organisms? Such organisms are called unicellular. हम उनको क्या कहते हैं? They are called unicellular. Unicellular में आप देखिए the word is uni. Uni का meaning होता है one और single. Okay, so unicellular, made up of single cell. On the other hand, ऐसे organisms that are made up of more than one cell, उनको हम क्या कहेंगे? We call them multicellular. We call them multicellular. So multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cells, and unicellular organisms are made up of one cell only. That's why we call them single celled organism. एक चीज और इसमें हम याद रखेंगे, कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स. एक बार आपको क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, दैट वाज बेस्ड ऑन द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म. तो आप कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स नोट डाउन करेंगे यूनिसेलुलर एग्जाम्पल के लिए, यूनिसेलुलर organisms के लिए. So here we go, unicellular organisms. Generally, the examples are your bacteria. Commonly, we heard about bacteria. So the right answer is bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular. Then bacteria के बाद आपके mostly जो protozoa हैं like paramecium. Paramecium is unicellular. Similarly, we have amoeba. Amoeba is also unicellular. Yeast, the only unicellular fungi, right? Yeast के लिए भी आप याद रखेंगे, the only unicellular fungi is yeast. So these are all the examples of unicellular organism. Right answer is single-celled organisms are called unicellular. Next is question number 7. Question number 7 says tissue is a group of organs, tissue is a group of cells, tissue is a group of tissues, or tissue is a group of organisms. So right answer for this question is going to be tissue is a group of cells. What is tissue? Tissue is a group of cells. So यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे what is tissue? Tissue is a group of cells. So there are cells. The cells combine to form tissue. Not all the cells, okay? The similar kind of cells combine होंगे and they will lead to the formation of tissues. Several similar functions of tissue will combine and they will lead to the formation of organs, right? And then आपके organs combine होंगे and then organs will lead to the formation of organ system. ये आप याद रखेंगे, okay? So first, like various different cells combined, they lead to the formation of tissues. Like अगर हम digestive system की बात कर रहे हैं, so all the cells responsible functioning in the digestive system, like epithelium and all the cells, they'll combine. They will lead to the formation of tissues. Tissues, various other functioning के different types of tissues forming a one similar kind of function, they'll combine. They will lead to formation of organs. Digestive system के आप organs देखोगे, so we have got stomach, we have got intestines, esophagus, all of these organs will combine and they will lead to the formation of organ system. तो ये chronology आप याद रखोगे. Cells combine to form tissues, tissues combine to form organs and organs combine to form organ system. क्वेश्चन ने आपसे पूछा है टिश्यू इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स, बट इन केस अगर क्वेश्चन आता ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स इज कॉल्ड, तब भी आप याद रखोगे टिश्यू. ग्रुप ऑफ सिमिलर सेल्स इज कॉल्ड, वी कॉल इट टिश्यू. A group of tissue is called, organ, and a group of organs form organ system. Okay, so this was it for the question number 7. Question number 8. Cell is discovered by Robert Brown, Robert Hooke, John Mendel, or Charles Darwin. The spelling is incorrect here. It would be Charles Darwin. So cell, who discovered the cell? So very famous question. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Almost every one of us have studied this. That cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Cell को किसने discover किया था? Robert Hooke. Okay. So कहाँ पे उन्होंने discover किया था? Robert Hooke discovered the cell in a cork piece. Okay, he was working and in the cork piece he observed cells. He saw some honeycomb-like structures. उनको कुछ ऐसे structures दिखे थे and honeycomb-like hexagonal structures, and then he thought that these were the cells, and that's how he discovered the cells. But there is a story behind it. What actually Robert Hooke saw were not the cells, these were actually the cell walls. जो cell walls हम पढ़ते हैं for the that are present in the plant cells. तो ये cell wall Robert Hooke ने देखे थे. So they were not actually cells. What he observed was the cell wall, but still the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Okay, the first time cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. And if आपको अगर question आता है first time who discovered a living cell, who discovered a living cell, तो living cell के लिए आप याद रखेंगे Leeuwenhoek discovered the living cell. Okay, Leeuwenhoek discovered the living cells. Robert Brown is associated with the nucleus. Discovery of nucleus was done by Robert Brown. John Mendel, अगर आप देखोगे, John Gregor Mendel, so he's associated with genetics, the principles and laws of genetics, and Charles Darwin's को हम पढ़ते हैं the theory of evolution. Okay, so this much you will keep in mind. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, but he originally saw was the cell walls. Where did he discover them? In the piece of cork. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Okay, next is question number 9. Question number 9 says the cell capable of changing shapes are amoeba cell, WBC, or both of these, or none of these. The cells which can change their shape. Okay, the cells which can change their shape, amoeba cell, WBC को ही हम कहते हैं white blood cells. Okay, so WBC or your white blood cells, or also called as leukocytes. So both of them are the same thing. Either you call them WBC, you call them white blood cell, or you call them leukocyte. They are same. So these are, what are the cells capable of changing the shape? So amoeba as well as WBC, दोनों ही जो आपके cells होते हैं, both of them are capable of changing their shapes, right? Both of them are capable of changing their shapes. So right answer would be both of these. Both amoeba cell and WBC are capable of changing their shape. And the cells which can change their shape, what do we call them? We call them pleomorphic. Okay, we call them pleomorphic. All such cells which can change their shape, we call them pleomorphic. And amoeba cells as well as WBC or white blood cells are the cells which are capable of changing the shape. Next is question number 10. Question number 10 is hen's egg is a tissue, B organ, C organ system, or D cell. Hen's egg. What is a hen's egg? Tissue, organ system, or cell? So right answer for this is a hen's egg is actually a cell. It is a single cell, right? It's big in the size. We generally say that cell is a microscopic structure, but hen's egg, ostrich egg, they are the exceptions. Hen's egg is a macroscopic cell that can be viewed through our normal naked eyes, and the biggest single cell in the world. Okay, the largest cell आप याद रखोगे ostrich egg. Largest cell is ostrich egg. An ostrich egg is the largest cell that is there. That is a single cell. So hen's egg is a cell. Similarly, ostrich egg is the largest egg we have. So with this everyone, we will sum up our today's session. Next session के लिए stay connected with the channel Knowell Bell. Press the bell notification next to it. Subscribe the channel. आगे के जो questions हैं associated with the cell, the unit of life, ये हम coming sessions में discuss करेंगे. So make sure you stay connected with the session and we will meet soon. Bye everyone. All the best for your exams.